Today, Purple Hippo brings you the 10 scariest ghost sightings in the world. Oh, by the way, don't watch this video alone. It might be a tad bit too scary for one to handle it alone. All of us have heard that ghosts are real, and that, yes, you can probably see them if you're lucky, or unlucky for that matter. So before we start, make sure to subscribe to Purple Hippo and ring that bell icon to get regular updates on the latest and most enthralling videos. Let's start with number 10. Number 10, the Doppelganger. This story is about a young woman in her last month of pregnancy. Thus, naturally, she needs to go to the bathroom quite often. However, that is where the natural part of the story ends. What happens when she goes to the loo is that she sees herself standing in the mirror. Just imagine, your reflection is frozen in the mirror and yet the real you is moving around. Creepy, isn't it? Originally, she thought that she was only seeing things due to her condition. However, she was proven wrong when her husband asked her as to why she had been up and roaming around the house in the middle of the night, whereas she has been sleeping in her bedroom all along. So, if two people see the same thing, then that kind of makes it real, doesn't it? Number 9, the haunted hotels. Many of us have a fear of living in the unknown places, for we are not comfortable with sleeping on beds that aren't our own or using toilets that aren't our own. However, some people exist who fear hotels for they can be haunted. There have been many of such cases, and we are going to tell you a similar story. The story involves a small family living in an inn on their trip to Europe. The inn had around 4 rooms booked under their names, and our protagonist of the story had a room all to herself. At the end of the hallway, she was sleeping in her bed peacefully when all of a sudden, she was woken by something or someone ripping off the bedsheets off of her and pulling the girl to the end of the bed. Her sisters also thought that they saw a dark figure looming in their rooms. Number 8, the rocking horse. Now, this isn't exactly a sighting of a ghost, but it is a sighting of an inanimate object possessed by one. The protagonist of this story was just about 10 to 12 years old and was having trouble falling asleep one night when all of a sudden, she heard a noise from the other side of her room, and to her utter shock, she saw her rocking horse toy run itself all the way to the middle of the room and stopping dead center. Please remind us to never purchase a rocking horse. Number 7, the man with the black eyes. This story is about a teenager who is babysitting her cousin Eliza. During her stay over at Eliza's house, she decided to bathe her in the 3rd floor bathroom. All was going well until Eliza froze and started whimpering in fear by looking out into the hallway. The babysitter, with her back turned towards the door, asked Eliza what she had seen, and all the poor little girl could say amongst the tears was, "It's the man with the black eyes." Number 6, it's my house. This narration is about a young single mother with her 4-year-old daughter who had just shifted into a new house. One day, she was putting her daughter to bed, and after she had fallen asleep, the mom left the room. However, as soon as she entered the hallway, she could hear her daughter having a conversation with someone. Upon inquiry, the scared-to-death child told her mother that she was talking to a man who wanted them to leave the house. Thankfully, the mom believed her daughter and moved them out of the house a month later. Number 5, the cupboard. What we have learned about ghosts so far is the fact that they are territorial and don't like people living in their houses. This is what happened in this story too. A teenage boy was playing video games late into the night with his dog keeping him company. Suddenly, the dog started to bark and started to jump around the front of the closet. The boy got up to check for himself what the issue was and heard scratching noises from the closet. The closer he got, the quicker the scratches got, until it stopped altogether all of a sudden. After 3 to 5 seconds of silence, however, there was a huge crash on the cupboard. Any guesses as to what made that noise? Number 4, I approve. Yes, ghosts are territorial, but they can also accept you and welcome you if they want to. This is exactly what happened to this family who was traveling and decided to spend the night in a secluded mill cottage. The house was cold and damp no matter how many fires the family lit up, so giving up their fight for warmth, the family members went to their respective sleeping places. However, it was going to be a long night for them, for when the parents were sleeping, they were startled by someone opening their door and staring at them for a long period of time. Eventually, however, that figure decided to smile and walk away. The next morning, the house was full of warmth and sunshine. What a warm welcome by Mr. Ghost. Number 3, the Orbs. Majority of the ghost stories involve sightings and pictures. This is what happened in this case as well. An adventurous fellow with his friends went to the Queen Mary in Long Beach, a ship that is notoriously haunted. Immediately, the group could feel weird vibes as if something was lurking in the shadows. However, in the spirit of youth, they decided to ignore everything and dance around in this ballroom that they found. Naturally, they took pictures and had a great time. But after coming back from their trip, they got the pictures developed and ta-da! The pictures were full of orbs. What? How? Ghosts sure have a weird sense of humor. Number 2, the Stanley. The US is known to be dotted with haunted houses. Among the famous ones is the haunted hotel, the Stanley, which has a rich history of ghost sightings. There have been claims of the hotel's dead owner and his wife still roaming around. There has also been the case of the maid who haunts room 217. People see her folding clothes, and sometimes when she isn't feeling too good, she also separates couples who are sharing the bed. Okay then. Recently, a tourist went to roam around the hotel and captured a picture, only to find the ghost of a man in the picture. So top 2 things you should never do: go into a haunted place and be armed with a camera. Those 2 are a big no-no. Although much of the ghost sightings have been peaceful, the fact that ghosts exist there and that there have been countless sightings of them is enough to freak us out. So at number 1, we have the Whaley House. The Whaley House is no stranger to paranormal fanatics out there. Situated in San Diego, it is a brick monument built by Thomas Whaley, who was a rich guy back then. The house was a big deal due to its interior and was the hub of social activities, and now it is the hub of ghost activity. People, news reporters, paranormal investigators, and thousands of people going there with hopes of witnessing paranormal activity. These include sightings of Thomas Whaley himself, swinging chandeliers, footsteps walking across the upstairs floor, and countless incidents of loud crashing sounds. Whaley House hosts a lot of people throughout the year, but especially around the Halloween season. However, the ghosts have no timetable and don't believe in a specific spooky month, so they continue to haunt the place from sunrise to sunset. Now who wants to go there? After this video, I don't think there's any one of you who would ever doubt regarding the presence of the supernatural among us. If you like this video, make sure to share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to Purple Hippo and ring that bell icon to stay tuned to our awesome content. thanks for watching the 10 scariest ghost sightings in the world. Stay tuned until next time, folks.